Hi ladies, my name is Kelsey and I have the joy of leading us through our next touch point at 10. And today is Thinking Thursday. The idea behind Thinking Thursday and the reason we thought this might be a helpful addition to our touch points at 10 is that we know there are a lot of kids at home right now who would normally be at school, and we're looking for things to keep them active, to keep their minds active, and to entertain them throughout the day. Something that's been really cool recently in the midst of this pandemic is that a lot of companies and organizations have made their resources available for free for teachers, parents, and students. And so we have access to a lot of things for free that we don't normally have access to, and that's really awesome. But something that can be a little bit difficult about that is that there are so many resources coming at us right now that it can be a little bit hard to kind of weed through them, sift through them, and figure out which resources are best for your kids, which resources would interest your kids the most, which resources are appropriate for the age and grade level of your kids. And so our goal on Thursdays is to kind of help you through that by giving you 1 to 2 resources per week that we think you would really enjoy. And I'm saying we instead of just me, because even though it's just me in the video, Angie Lem and I have been working together to find these resources and kind of vet them for you. And the reason Angie and I have been working on it is because we are both teachers. So Angie's been finding elementary resources, which is like preschool to 5th grade. And then I've been working on secondary resources, which is middle and high school. And so each week I'll give you 1 resource for each age group and maybe just some suggestions of why they're good resources and how you might incorporate them into your family routine and those types of things. So that's kind of where we're going on these Thursdays. So for this first Thursday, I decided to make it space themed. We'll probably not have a theme every week, just for the record. But as I was looking through the resources, these were some of my favorite ones. Probably because I really love space, but I mean, like, who doesn't? And so the resources today are space themed, and I've kind of tied them together, and so I'm hoping it'll be something fun for you and your kids to look at this week. So our first elementary resource is called Story Time from Space. I know, right? And it is exactly what it sounds like. So if you've got a kid who loves space, they love stories, they love to read, anything like that, Story Time from Space is a read-along series where astronauts who were in space at the time are reading popular children's books while they're in space. So they're in like wacky configurations, anti-gravity, like upside down sometimes, but they're reading these popular children's books like A Moon of My Own and dozens of other stories. And what's cool about this resource is that not only are the astronauts reading the books, which is just cool because they're in space, but not only are they reading the books, but there's actually the text of the book in the video right next to the astronaut, and so kids can actually read along with the astronauts as they read. So you can set your kid up in front of the computer, and not only do they get to like see an astronaut in space and hear stories, but they can read along too, and there's lots of books in there. So that's just a really good resource to help with reading and stories and all that type of stuff. And it's just really fun to watch. It's an elementary resource, but like I've been having fun listening to astronauts read in space, so I think it's fun for the whole family. So that's the first resource, and I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but Therese Allen, who is awesome, is putting the links to these resources for you under this video. So everything that I talk about, with the exception of the app at the end, all of the web resources that I'm talking about, she's going to put a link to those under this video, so you'll be able to access them easily. Okay, so our next resource is more geared towards middle school and high school age kids, and that is that, and many museums around the world are doing this right now, but NASA is doing virtual tours right now. Virtual tours are super cool because it gives kids a chance to basically go on a field trip from their living room. So NASA Glenn in particular is doing virtual tours of their whole facility. So you can see the zero gravity facility, you can see the ballistics impact lab, you can see the space environments complex. And for each one of these areas, not only can you just kind of scroll around and take a virtual tour, but there are actually videos that the kids can learn from that show kind of what the astronauts and what the scientists do in those particular facilities. There's pictures, they can zoom in on things, and so that's a really cool resource that they can explore, and there's all kinds of things they can look at in there. And then there's also this really cool thing, which is which also is from NASA, and it's a virtual moon tour. And so basically they take a compilation of the videos and images that they've been taking from the moon, I think since like 2009 or something like that, and they've compiled them all in kind of a virtual tour of the moon, which is also super awesome because probably most of us won't go to the moon. So it's pretty cool to get to see it. And so those are both educational resources, but resources that are also fun, so it doesn't necessarily feel like we're doing school, but we're still learning and engaging our minds. And then when I was thinking about these two things, I was also thinking about this app that I have, and there's a lot of versions of it. The one I have is called Star Walk, and what it is it's an app that you can get in the App Store on your phone, and you can go outside at any time of day actually, but it's more fun at night. And you just open the app and you point it at the night sky, and it tells you what you're looking at. So it will tell you what constellation you're looking at. It'll tell you if it's stars or planets. It will tell you if there are satellites going by. And also within the app, there's just a lot you can learn about the planets and all those types of things. And so what I was thinking is if you did a NASA day, you could have kids do story time from space. You could do NASA virtual tours. And then at night, because we are allowed to go outside still, you could go outside and do some stargazing. And if you wanted, you could use the Star Walk app and know what constellations and stuff that you're looking at. So in my mind, I feel like that's a fun day. Hopefully that interests you as well. So there you have it. There's some resources for our first Thinking Thursday. And again, if you have any questions at all for me, please ask. You can ask me right now while we're watching this video, but also please feel free to contact me anytime if you have questions about anything regarding education for your kids or anything else. You're welcome to reach out to me. Also, if there's something in particular that you're looking for a resource to address, let me know. And if we don't already have a resource that meets that need, I'll do my best to find one for you. So if there's any way that I can help through this time, please let me know. And, we're all in this together. We are here for you here in Women's Ministry. So, reach out. Don't be a stranger. And I hope you've enjoyed this Thinking Thursday and our space-themed day. And I'll see you guys back here again next Thursday. Have a great day, ladies.